The email landed like a thunderclap in an already stormy morning. One crucial detail overlooked, a deadline looming closer than remembered, and a client feedback request that felt less like a question and more like an accusation. The air in the room, which moments before felt merely chilly, suddenly became thick and heavy, pressing down. My breath hitched, shoulders tensed, and a familiar hot flush began to creep up my neck. That internal voice, the one that whispers panicked what-ifs and self-recriminations, was already starting its relentless chatter. Perhaps you know this feeling, that sudden surge of adrenaline when the unexpected, the demanding, or the deeply frustrating lands squarely in your path. It might be a sharp word from a colleague, a chaotic moment with a child, a financial setback, or an unfair judgment. In those moments, it feels as though the world shrinks, your options narrow, and your default reaction mechanisms, often honed by years of habit, take over. The instinct to fight, to flee, or to freeze feels overpowering. Pressure, in its purest form, has a way of stripping away pretense, revealing the raw, unpolished core of who we are. It truly does reveal character. But what if, in those very moments, instead of allowing stress to dictate our response, we could choose a different path? What if, instead of reacting impulsively, we could breathe, slow down, and let our virtues, not our anxieties, lead our decisions in heated moments? This is the profound invitation of Stoicism. It's not about suppressing emotion, but about managing our internal landscape so that our actions align with our highest ideals, even when the world around us feels like it's crumbling. The first crucial step, as the Stoics understood, is to acknowledge the pressure, to feel its presence, but then to create a tiny, almost imperceptible gap. This gap is the space between the stimulus and your response. When that email landed, my initial impulse was to immediately type a frantic defensive reply, or perhaps to simply shut down in despair. But the Stoic practice invites a breath, a conscious, deep inhale, then a slow, deliberate exhale. This isn't just a physical act, it's a psychological one too. It's a moment to disengage from the immediate emotional hijack and observe. Observe what? Observe the situation clearly, as objectively as possible, without the filter of your initial fear or anger. What exactly is happening? What is truly within my control, and what is not? In that email scenario, I could not control the client's tone, nor the fact that the deadline was indeed approaching. What I could control was my interpretation of the situation and my response. This act of observation leads us to the heart of Stoic virtue. With a clearer mind, even for a moment, we can ask ourselves, what is the wise response here? Wisdom for the Stoics isn't just about knowledge, it's about practical judgment, knowing what truly matters and what doesn't, especially in difficult situations. Is it wise to lash out? Is it wise to ignore the problem? Or is it wiser to calmly assess, gather information, and propose a solution? Then comes temperance, or self-control. This virtue guides us in moderating our impulses and desires. It's the ability to resist the urge to react out of anger, fear, or frustration. It allows us to hold steady even when our internal tempest rages. It's the quiet voice that reminds us, you do not need to respond now. You can choose your words carefully. You can choose your tone. Temperance allows us to pause that defensive reply, to step away from the keyboard, and perhaps formulate a response that is measured, respectful, and effective. And what about courage? Under pressure, courage isn't always about grand heroic acts. Sometimes it's the quiet courage to face an uncomfortable truth, to admit a mistake, or to have a difficult conversation. It's the courage to be vulnerable, to ask for help, or to simply remain calm when every fiber of your being wants to panic. In the context of that demanding client email, courage might mean acknowledging the oversight, taking responsibility, and then bravely outlining a path forward, even if it feels daunting. Finally, justice. This virtue compels us to act fairly, honestly, and with integrity towards others and indeed towards ourselves. Under pressure, it's easy to assign blame, to seek shortcuts, or to prioritize our own immediate comfort over what is right. But the Stoic, having breathed, observed, and consulted their inner compass of wisdom, temperance, and courage, will then ask, what is the just action in this moment? What is the fair thing to do for all involved? This leads to responses that build trust, maintain relationships, and uphold one's own character, even if the immediate outcome isn't perfectly to our liking. Practicing grace under pressure is not about becoming emotionless. It's about cultivating the inner strength to feel the emotion, acknowledge it, and then deliberately choose a response guided by virtue rather than impulse. It's a daily practice, much like building muscle. Each time you consciously take that breath, each time you pause before reacting, each time you ask yourself, what would a virtuous person do here? You strengthen that inner capacity. The next time you feel that surge of pressure, whether it's a tight deadline, a sharp criticism, or an unexpected setback, remember this path. Breathe. Create that crucial gap. Observe without judgment. Consult your inner virtues, wisdom, temperance, courage, and justice. And then choose your response. Pressure will always reveal character. But with Stoic clarity, you can ensure it reveals a character of resilience, integrity, and grace. What are your own strategies for managing pressure? How do you create that crucial space between stimulus and response? I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. If this perspective resonated with you, consider subscribing for more insights on practical philosophy and living a more intentional life. Until next time, may you find clarity and calm amidst life's inevitable pressures.